Go ahead and get started. So my name is Sarah Guido. I am the B2B marketing specialist here at Daytrip. So today I'm going to be walking you guys through who Daytrip is as a company, what services we provide, and most excitingly, everything about Italy travel for women and how to make booking client experiences in Italy easier for all the ladies that you guys are booking for. But let's hop into who is Daytrip. So, about Daytrip, we offer private door-to-door car transfers across 130 plus countries. The reason that we're able to do this is because of our really extensive network of 11,000 plus vetted English-speaking drivers. All of our routes are customizable and can be anywhere from 20 miles to 300 miles, and they're really customizable for anything that your clients might need. And the top tier best part about our service is our wonderful and amazing customer service. So we truly have 24/7 customer supports ready to help you guys at all hours of the day. So if you are sleeping in your bed and your clients are halfway around the world, jet setting, traveling, doing their thing, but maybe they're confused, maybe they need some help, or they've run into an issue, so they can always call, email, or text our customer support, and there will always be a real human to help them out. So here's an overview of Daytrip's products. So to put it really plainly, we offer car transfers. So we offer private car transfers. You can think of something like point A to point B. It could be city to city. It could be an airport transfer, but this is a standard one-way private car transfer or round trip. And the thing that really differentiates Daytrip, makes us more exciting, makes your clients' experiences even better, is our option to add sightseeing stops. So within our traditional private car transfers, our algorithm and our website will recommend transfers with sightseeing stops. So along the way, to get your clients more experience out of their travel day, to take stress out and to feel a little bit more luxurious, your clients can add on, or you can add on for your clients, optional sightseeing stops. So if you're going from Rome to Sorrento, you can add in a sightseeing stop anywhere along the way. I'll show you guys how to do this within our website. Here's a little sneak peek of our travel agent portal down below. But then we're going to hop into our next service, which is our day trips. So we actually have a service that is a day-long excursion with our private drivers. So this is a pre-made itinerary made by our amazing content team here of really interesting stops along the way or stops within a city. So this is maybe like a half day or a full day excursion with our day trip drivers. So they make sure all of your stuff is all safe and they, keep you guys on your own schedule and everything. So it's a round trip excursion. And then our last service that we offer is our chauffeur by the hour. So this is our by the hour service. So this is the booking of a private driver for anywhere from 2 to 14 hours. So our private drivers, they're completely at your client's disposal. So this could be anything for, they can go to a hair appointment, they can go to dinner, they can go stop for lunch somewhere, they can go shopping at a mall outside of the city. So this leaves the full itinerary up to your clients. Okay, so here's an overview of all of the vehicles that we offer. So we have sedan, MPV, and vans in all of the destinations that we have. So these are available in all 130 plus countries. And then on the right here, you can see that we have a luxury service. So this is available widely across Europe and in select other countries. One I can name is South Korea. But here you can also see that the highest number of passengers within one vehicle is 7. But that does not limit the amount of passengers you can have in one booking. We do accommodate group bookings. So anything your clients might need, if you have a bigger group, we can do a combination of vehicles, and our customer service team will sort that all out for you. So if you have, something that might need a van or a sedan, we can customize it for you. So here's a peek into our day trip driver vetting process. So this all starts with a one-on-one interview with the regional supply manager. So this starts out basically as a vibe check to, for our team members who are stationed all around the world, to, feel the vibe of a potential driver. And then once they pass that, they go on to the driver background and car safety check. So this means that we're looking into, the safety of the driver and also the safety of their car, making sure they have all the correct insurance. And once then they pass that, or actually, I would love to add our day trip standard of cars and how old they are is that for our standard service, our cars cannot be manufactured more than 10 years in the past. But for our luxury service, they cannot be manufactured more than 5 years in the past. So then I would love to highlight our next step, which is our day trip customer service training. So, a pinnacle of our service is that our day trip drivers are kind, they're friendly, and they are welcome to help. So, not everyone can be a day trip driver. We really do make sure that they can speak English. So, this makes your clients feel comfortable all over the world with our drivers, and just make sure that they're, cool people. So, then the last step in our day trip driver vetting process is approval. But I would say that this is more of a dot 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 rather than a period in this sentence because approval is completely ongoing. Our drivers don't just get approved and go on their way and we never talk to them again. Like I said earlier, our customer service team is really great and they're constantly listening to feedback about our drivers. And if something isn't up to standard, we are constantly reevaluating our partnership with our drivers. Okay, so what we all came here for, ciao, let's talk about Italy. Okay, so this is actually a little plug to our day trip for travel agents Facebook group. So I posted a poll a couple of days ago to see if anyone has planned a trip to Italy. I have a sense that Emma is going to put the link to join our Facebook group in the chats. I can feel her vibes from here, but you guys can go to this link, sign up for our day trip for travel agents Facebook group, and get in on any updates on any content that I'm putting out because I am the curator of our little travel agent community here. So I always love to interact with you guys. So you can see here that out of have you planned a trip to Italy, the highest ranking response was too many to count. So Italy, as we all know, is such a highly requested destination, and it's for good reason. It is just such a diverse country, and it's quite large, so it's really fitting for every client, and you can always find a need for them there. So, but specifically for this presentation, I'm going to be talking about Italy for women. So, March is actually Women's History Month, if you guys weren't aware. And I loved finding out that 80% of travel agents are actually women. So, we power this travel industry, and it's super exciting to get to book trips for women. And Daytrip can really help you plan this and make it easier and a more elevated experience for our women clients. So, why is Italy a good destination for women? So, they have La Dolce Vita, which is, the vibe of slowing down, being present, enjoying the moment. Whether that's, eating gelato in a piazza and taking a moment, or just being present and soaking in the beauty and everything around you. And like I said, Italy has, it's really big land mass wise, and it also has diverse landscapes. So in the north, there is alpine mountains, and then in the south, there is beautiful Mediterranean coastlines, and there is just so much to offer. So it's a really great opportunity to, go to one country and get a lot. And then, of course, you can see the Venus de Milo here in Florence, but they have endless activities in Italy as well. So there's everything from museums to wine tours in Tuscany to cooking classes to really immerse yourself in a different culture. But unfortunately, there are some realities of Italian travel. So Italy is extremely well connected with lots of train connections. There are train stations everywhere, but traveling with trains, while it's well connected, it comes with a lot of stress. So moving from train station to train station, that's not door to door. You still have to get to the train station. You have to get to your platform. You need to navigate it all and sort out the really big crowds. And then also that comes with it is safety concerns. So for women specifically, we always have to be aware of our surroundings, and just being aware of unsafe areas or crime levels or just even dark roads and feeling uncomfortable. And then also another reality of Italian travel is that sometimes traditional transport is not ideal for older clients or larger groups. These train stations are busy and buses are hard to navigate. And a really big issue is, navigating these train stations and stairs and everything with luggage, because, you have to carry it all yourself if you're going public transit wise. And even with larger groups, these big train stations often have a lot of people and, there's large crowds, so it's hard to navigate. And really importantly, this March, I know it's been really relevant for our TAs. So there has been a lot of strikes, and this is very consistent in the travel industry in Italy. So rail and air travel are often disrupted by, worker strikes. But this disrupts travel plans and often leaves passengers stranded. So I know that in our Facebook group, there was a little bit of discussions of with all the strikes happening. Daytrip came to the savior of some TAs because it got, a little bit confusing of what you're supposed to do if airport shut down and train shut down. But I would love to hop into the aspects that I'm going to highlight. So I'm going to talk about female travel, but specifically with solo travel, multi-gen travel, and celebrations. So let's start out with solo travel. I'm sure you guys recognize this clip from this movie, but this is Julia Roberts playing Liz Gilbert in Eat, Pray, Love. So I'm only 24 and I'm not divorced, but this is one of my favorite movies ever because I think it really worked to empower a whole just massive amount of women to take up the reins and go solo traveling or just travel in general and to pursue experiencing more of the world. And Liz, of course, starts the movie and she is a real person. She starts her, journey of rediscovering herself in Rome. And so I would love to highlight solo travel in Italy. So, like I shouted out earlier, this is actually my colleague Emma. This is her on her own solo travel trip in Albania, and I talked to her about what makes a great solo travel destination. She told me that, of course, overarching theme for women is safe and welcoming vibes. You don't want to be scared in a city. And something that really goes hand in hand with that is having it be a mid-sized city. So something that's not too intimidatingly large with a lot of, there's a lot of variables. It's really big to navigate. Or you also, on the opposite end of the spectrum, don't want it to be too small because if something is too local, then everyone's like, hey, who's that in the local piazza or something? So you want it to be, mid-size with a variety of things to explore and spots for you to feel comfortable being by yourself and to have downtime. And one of my favorite parts of Eat, Pray, Love is when Liz is, she's in Rome and she's, getting her Italian lessons, and her Italian teacher teaches her dolce far niente, which is, the sweetness of doing nothing. So I think Italy is a really great destination for solo female travel to take a minute and slow down and just take time for yourself and just not have to worry about everything all the time, which I know is really common these days. So take some time and eliminate some of the stress, and booking with Daytrip can help that. And I would say with one of these destinations that I like to highlight is actually Triste. So I have an Italian colleague who taught me how to say this, so I'm going to try my best. But I would really like to highlight this destination in this city. It's in the north of Italy. And it's where Italy meets Slovenia and Austria. So it has really diverse culture and it's a really different melting pot for different food, and just lots of different influences you can see in the architecture. So you can see like Habsburg buildings where it's meeting like the Mediterranean Sea. It's super interesting. And a perfect example of, diverse culture and using day trip to meet it is Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia, is only an hour away. So you could take a transfer, you could take a day trip, you can see more where you're at. And then also, this is a really big hub of coffee. So they have really strong coffee culture and cafe culture, which would be really nice when you're solo traveling, to slow down and have some coffee. If you guys recognize this brand of coffee, Illy, I believe it said, it's actually headquartered out of Trieste, and it was created there. And then as a, different things to explore, this city actually is the city to the sea. So there's history to explore. You can go swimming and take some time at the sea to relax. Here's an example of how I would recommend for a day trip to help solo women travel. So you can take a transfer from Rome to Sorrento. So normally you'd have to take a train, you'd fly into Rome, probably you'd go to your hotel, spend a couple days exploring, and then you'd probably take a train. But to get from Rome to Sorrento, you have to probably change to a bus or something at the Naples train station. I have personally been to the Naples train station, and oh my goodness, I would love to never go there again. So I think it'd be really helpful to just bypass all of this with a private transfer. So your day trip driver will welcome you at your hotel in Rome, take you door to door wherever you'd like to go. But why not add a stop at this Roman, history site as Frascati? You can add a 1 hour stop, or you can change the duration, and our service will just completely update and make it super easy to book and easier for your clients. Okay, so now on to multi-gen trips. So this means multi-generational travel. So this is actually me and my lovely mother. This is one of my favorite memories ever. So last April, me and my mom got to go on a mother-daughter trip through the Cotswolds in the UK. So I would love to highlight multi-gen travel for women specifically because it's a way to intentionally spend time together. It's a way to make memories. And this is the moments I remember the most with my mom were times that we slowed down. This is actually a picture of us from our thatched roof cottage that we stayed in Laycock. And the best part about this was that, we got to experience a different kind of life together. And we're like, I'm older now, so I'm an adult. I actually was the one who drove our rental car, and I would greatly recommend not doing that. My goodness, the amount of stress. But I would greatly recommend multi-gen travel to the region of Tuscany. And the reason I would say that is because you need different kinds of flexibility for these types of trips. So, multi-gen travel, it often has people ranging from, I don't know, 80 years old to children. But normally it could be adult children with their mothers, with their grandmothers. So, it could be 30-year-olds with 50-year-olds. So, there's always going to be a need for different mobility differences being accounted for in transport. So probably not train travel or bus travel. That's hard on the knees, hard on, the body and everything. And then I would also recommend when planning these itineraries to leave open time in these itineraries. So you can let everyone decide what they would like to do based on their energy of the day. So, for example, if older people would like to stay in the hotel or the villa that you're staying in and play some cards, play a board game, and if the younger people would want to go out running or go for a hike or just, do something a little bit more active, you can leave open time to decide what you'd want to do day of. And like I mentioned before, Tuscany, the beautiful, gorgeous wine region of Italy, I would like to highlight the province of Siena. So here are three really interesting destinations and cities that I would like to highlight. So one of my colleagues, she went to a wedding in Rapalano and she said that it was just magical. So I would recommend this destination for a really great mix of wellness travel. So they actually have hot springs and like thermal springs naturally there. So there's a lot of spas. And so this adds like, you can go to the vineyards, people can go to the spa, they can, bathe and just take, a relaxing minute together. So in all of these places, this is a place where you can rent, a house and have that feeling of, the Italian countryside and really be intentional about, making memories and having time to slow down rather than being in a really big bustling city with, maybe your grandma or something. So this next place is Valle d'Orcia. So this is a really great wine destination as well. They have really beautiful gardens. And then of course Chianti is a really famous wine. So you can go to their vineyards as well and go see these beautiful towns. So to make this easier with our day trip transfers for our older clients and our younger clients, I would say to use our transfer service as well. So this is going to be more of a visual of how our sightseeing stops can really enhance a trip. So for example, if you're going from Rome to the smaller town of Ropolano, then you could add and enhance the experience with our sightseeing stops. So here you could stop in two of these really great wine destinations, really beautiful cities. So you can go to Montepulciano for an hour and 15 minutes. And this is a recommended, duration of the stop from our website. And it will update the amount of price that it would add for this stop. And in all of our sightseeing stops, our driver waits for your clients. They keep all of their things, they keep it all safe. And if they have any questions about entrances, our drivers, I'm sure, will be happy to help. And then you can also stop in Tivoli to see gardens, to, try some wine, stop for lunch or something, stretch your legs along the ride, and then you can continue on to your final destination. Okay, so the final group of women that I would like to highlight for kinds of travel for women is celebration trips. So this could be anything like graduation, divorce, birthdays, or bachelorette trips. So this is just for women to intentionally spend time together in this really fast-paced world. This is like such an intentional way to carve out time to be with your girlfriends, to spend some time together, and just have fun with one another and unwind. So I would really recommend, of course, the really well-known destination of Sicily within Italy. So this island is perfect for a ladies' trip. This has the sea, sun, and amazing food. So it's a triangle island surrounded by three different seas, and so each coast is really unique. There is a lot of ancient Roman ruins on the bottom of the island, and there's just a lot of different experiences that you can have. It has a good climate all year round, but in the summer it'll get super hot. So for those of us who think in Fahrenheit, it gets all the way up to 90 degrees, and I'm sure it goes above that. And then with the cuisine, I was talking to one of my colleagues who traveled there before, and he said the more south you go in Italy, the better the food gets. So he told me about the high quality Mediterranean foods you can get there. That means seafood and, really yummy wine. And they're really known for their arancini, which is the fried like rice balls. So I think the perfect way to use day trip in Sicily for a ladies trip is to take one of our themed day trips, actually. So we have a whole subdivision of our day trips on our website of our themed jet setting day trips. So here you can see from Catania, which is on the east of Sicily. It is a bigger city where you might fly into or you might be staying in. A really great day trip that we have already set up for you guys is a White Lotus themed day trip. So, unfortunately, I haven't seen it before, but I know that season two of White Lotus takes place in Sicily. So, as they're all set in a Four Seasons hotel, this one's in the San Domenico Palace. So, you can actually, in this day trip, it'll take you from Catania to Taormina, where that hotel is. You can go see the hotel, and then you can also see this beautiful, like, little island that's only connected with sand. It's called Isola Bella. So it makes me just want to swim and jump in the water and, spend some time with my girls. And then a second stop that you can go on is to Notos, which is a quaint town with Baroque architecture that a lot of other filming locations were in season two. So it's a really great way to, connect and also see stuff that you saw on TV that you loved. So, to wrap up my section on specifically Italy, I would also like to highlight some food and drinks that you can try in all of these places that aren't just the standard pizza, pasta, and wine. So, here on the right, you can see fried pizza. This is actually me and my friends from my trip to Naples. So, I would really recommend trying the fried pizza. Of course, it's the home of delicious pizza, but fried pizza, they do it really well. And it took a bit of a wait time, but I would really recommend. Then you can try this kind of like pita bread sandwich. That's really good, the piadina. Then also focaccia sandwiches. This one is a picture of one I had in Venice, and it was life-changing. It was fantastic. And my colleague told me about these two sodas. These are like national drinks of Italy that I never heard about. So on the left here is Chinotto. This is a like kind of like a like Coca-Cola vibe, but it's more natural and a little bit sweet. And then Sidrata over here is with a specific really sweet Italian lemon. So it's like a bubbly lemonade. Sounds divine. I'm ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna hop into a booking tutorial. Um, and then I'm gonna start out by going to our day trip website. Okay, so actually, one second. I'm gonna ask Emma with some help with something, and then she can help me out real quick, and then I will jump into our booking tutorial.
Yes, totally. I don't know what you need my help with actually.
One second. I'm gonna message you real quick, and then I'll hop into
Okay,
our tutorial.
perfect. Perfect. Guys, we're live. This is showbiz, as they say. You can keep it up in the chat. Everything's going well in the chat. Yes, thank you for laughing. We're doing our best here. You'll also see in the chat there's been some nice conversation about Italian pronunciation. Everything is good. We are all good. So Sarah is getting everything figured out over here. We have our words of support. Y'all are doing great. Thank you for this webinar. Thank you. So I am going to go ahead and actually share my screen really fast. I think that that might be the best way to go ahead. And then I will have Sarah take back over after that. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds good. So you can go to our day trip website if that's okay. You are muted, my dear.
Wow.
Perfect.
I'm going to start sharing my screen now.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
not sure if you have to stop sharing yours, but I'm going to go ahead and share mine. So we are here on our beautiful day trip homepage, but I'm going to go to our travel agent portal so that we can go from here. So here we are in
Perfect.
our portal. We are all set. Sarah, I am going to ask you. Basically, we're going to tag team
Absolutely.
this beautiful
No, this is great.
tutorial. So,
This will be even more
okay,
interactive. Okay, so I would love to
perfect.
just show you guys, welcome to our travel agent portal. This was recently released at the end of February, and we have been listening to our travel agent community, and we saw that there was a need for something specifically made for our travel agents to make booking and traveling and just making your clients' lives easier with Daytrip. So here in our travel agent portal, if you haven't seen it yet, this is a fully integrated and intuitive way to create, manage, and edit all of your bookings within this portal. So you don't have to go to the Daytrip like homepage anymore. You'll just log in and go right here. You can see our booking bar here. And if you scroll a little bit, you'll see descriptions of all of our services, any upcoming trips you have. And then it's really great also to explore the portal to see our inspiration content as well. So if you haven't been to a destination before, you can look through our different continent pages and you can see different routes and different day trips we have to just feel the vibe of what day trip has to offer. And like I mentioned earlier, Most importantly for our travel agents is the fact that we have 24/7 customer service. So you're logged into your travel agent portal, you scroll down all the way, and here we are to see our customer service. So this is the link to our email, our chat, and our phone numbers and all of our customer support team speaks English. So no worries about that. So I'm going to start out by showing you guys a traditional point A to point B transfer. So I would love to show you guys something in Italy because that's our topic. So we're going to go from Rome to Sorrento. So our booking flow is very easy and it's very intuitive. So I'm going to show you a basic point to point transfer, and then all of our booking flows are the same. So this booking bar you see, it is the same.
I'm really
So
happy
we
you didn't pick any cities that are hard to spell because I'm like, oh my God, if she's like throwing something crazy at me, it's really going to be embarrassing. But I
Absolutely. No, I'm going easy for us so we can get the hang of it. So from Rome to Sorrento, and then next you select your departure date. And you can see here you just click through the months. We can go somewhere maybe in June in the summer. And then here we go. And then you select your departure time, and it's in 15-minute increments, so it's very, close to whenever you need it. So then we're just going to go one way, but you can book a return trip as well. And then here you click into your passenger and luggage. So it's really important for our booking flow to make sure you have the correct number of adults and children. So for this booking, it's going to be two adults and one child. And it's really key to include the children in this because later in the booking flow, you can add for free of charge a child seat. So it's included with our service. So our customer service will make sure that it is included and your driver will have it. So we're going to make sure it's two adults, one child, and here you can also see the amount of luggage that is included. So each passenger is allowed a checked bag, so a big one, and a carry-on bag. And then I see this comment just came in here right now. What if you don't have any luggage? It's still the same for all of it, so your car will have the space for it if something pops up. But if you do need more space on the flip side of that, you can actually add extra sets of bags. So this might need your vehicle to be upgraded, but you'll see if it's needed. But for this, we're just gonna have two adults, one child, and then we'll press search.
feel like Vanna White. I literally feel like I'm like your assistant. Like, here's this amazing thing
Perfect.
that we have. I love
Like
it.
this. And here we are. So now we're on to our vehicle selection. So here you can see we have four different types, but I'm going to highlight our sedan, compact MPV, and van. On the right, this is what all of our booking flows look like. So it's an overview of your itinerary. So Rome to Sorrento, and then we haven't added any stops yet. And you can see that you will get a, preview of your travel agent commercial conditions. So here it's showing a discount, but it might be different for you depending on what agreement you have with Daytrip. But we're just going to go with the sedan. We don't need any more space for this ride. So then you can go on to add stops. So this is what pops up for all of our routes. These are our suggested routes from our team. So I can see down here actually Pompeii is a suggested stop. So I think that's really interesting for maybe clients who don't want to take a full day out of their itinerary. If they're people who really want to be on the beach but can't pass up seeing, Pompeii. So you can click in here, see like some pictures, see the details. And then all of our durations of our stops are actually editable. So you can make this a little bit longer if you'd like, a little bit shorter, but let's go for, I don't know, 2.5 hours. And then this will update our pricing. Then you can see the price updates over here. And since I'm on discount in this travel agent account, this will then be shown at the end. Okay, so let's go on to our checkout. And now next, you can see that Emma is logged into her travel agent portal. So that is the most important step for all of our travel agents to make sure you're getting all your discounts, all your commission, everything that you guys need, and all your bookings will stay in one place under your account. So because you're logged into your travel agent account, you can see the information is here. Yeah, no charge for bathroom stops. It's included. So then you can scroll down and then you go to your client's contact information. So Emma, ooh, she's going to enter my information. So I'm on this trip. So then she'll add my name and my phone number just in case if there's any, if we need to get in contact with your client for specific, if your driver needs help finding them, whatever. But it is optional to add your client's email. So you don't have to add your client's email, but if you click the little info here, you can actually see what information will be sent to them. So if you do input your client's email, they get trip reminders, they get anything that is like necessary to know, like car changes or driver changes, but they're never going to receive pricing or commission details. That all stays to you. but this is optional. So if you want all information to go through you, you can just leave this blank. So then you select your lead passengers over 18. And then, as stated before, here is where you can select your child seat. So you can see we have four different types of child seats, and this just ensures that your clients don't need to lug around a child seat. They can travel easy with their kids and not have to worry about it. So I'm gonna go with like a booster with a high back for this trip. Here we go. And then next, we have a box that says, I have special requirements. So if your clients have mobility needs that we should be aware of, if they need any aids with them, like collapsible scooters or wheelchairs. Oh, I broke my leg. Half crutches. Perfect. So now our driver knows that. But also, if you're going to like an alpine destination, if you're traveling with skis or snowboards or something, you can just let our customer service know directly and they'll make sure that it all matches your needs. We also are pet friendly. So if your clients have pets for some reason, you can add in that they have a dog. So that's perfect. And then we can move on to our pickup and drop off locations. So this is our next step in our booking flow of confirming our booking. So here you can see you can add or change the drop-off locations 24 hours before departure. And it gives you, you can type in any address that you have, but our service is actually integrated with Google Maps. So you can click onto the map and drag and drop it to anywhere you need to get really specific. Like if they're at a restaurant or I don't know, a store, hair salon, anything you know that they're going to be doing, you can just confirm that there and you can do this with either of your destinations. And then next you'll see there's usually going to be upgrades. So maybe if you think your clients might need some more space, give an upgrade price as well. It makes a little bit more of a luxury feel. And then the last step in our booking process is our payment options. So you have the option to pay now, which is traditional. You add in all of your credit card details and then it immediately confirms it. But after listening to our travel agents, we found that there is a need for reserved bookings. So if you click into reserve now, pay later, you don't have to enter in any payment information. So the reason that this exists is for our travel agents to be able to put in, placeholder bookings if they haven't really figured out like what the exact itinerary is, what exact stops your clients would want to go to. So this is really great for you to plan out routes and then bring it to your clients, show them, hey, are you interested in these stops? Whatever, discuss. And then you can save time later by just confirming it and going ahead. So for this route, I would do reserve now because I'm going to talk about it with my clients. But here on the right, you can actually see our itinerary and it shows your travel agent discount is applied. And it gives you all of your details if you click in. And so this is how you book a traditional transfer with Daytrip. This is what our website looks like. And then I will ask Emma to go back to our travel agent portal so I can just show you how to book our other um, services. So here you can see we have the transfers tab, and then the next tab over is by the hour. So if you click into by the hour, you can see Rome is already populated because we were looking at that as our previous destination. We'll go from Rome, and then you can click into duration. And here you can see 2 to 14 hours, any range your clients might need. But let's go for 5 hours. We can go half day. And then it's the same booking flow of departure and time. And here we go. And then you press search. Then it shows you your vehicle options. And here you can go for a van if you need something larger. And then something to highlight as well is over on the right, it says 100 kilometers included. I know for me, sometimes I thought it was like the speed that they could go, but that is incorrect. This is the amount of kilometers they can go in the total number of hours. So this is intended to be used within one city, so it's not a transfer. So it's for your clients to sightsee without tiring out their legs or to go shopping, to not have to worry about bags, something like that. So it's the personal driver the whole time, so their driver's at their disposal. And then we can go back to our portal one last time and we can look at our final option, which is day trips. So our day trips, we can maybe go from Rome again because that's where we've been going. And then press search. And then here we are. It shows our private day trips from Rome. And here we are. You scroll through and you can see all of the options. And I see some questions are coming in our chat. Our Q&A session is coming up next, so we will get to all your questions that are coming up. But here you can see all of our different options, and these are all just pre-planned itineraries. And if we click into one, maybe we could go, yeah, Rome to, yeah, anything, Pompeii, like I was talking about before. So here you can see this is an 11-hour itinerary. It's round trip with a private driver. The total price is over here on the right, and it shows actually price per person if you're interested in that. And then you can scroll through and then add the number of people, add the departure date, and it'll show everything that is included in our day trips. So this is standard for all of our day trips. And then it'll show you what the route looks like on the map and yeah, any other relevant information. So I think that was a pretty good overview of our travel agent portal. Please keep putting questions in our chat. And then maybe Emma, I will reshare. And thank you so much for your assistance. And then I
No.
can share our presentation again. Okay, cool. So we're going to move on to our Q&A portion. So maybe Emma, if you want to peep in the chat, I can look as well. And we can go through any questions. But after the questions that we have live, I do have some pre-planned questions if we need some more.
Yes, so we got some questions early. Actually, the questions started
Okay,
like 5 minutes after we started, so I've been answering some of
perfect.
them, but I think it's kind of worthwhile. Maybe some other people had similar questions. So, for example, we did get a question if we were able to do certain transfers in the US, obviously not related to Italy, but I think it's important to know because, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, we do have our countries, over 130 countries. So, our US service is limited to Florida and California right now, but hopefully we'll be able to expand down the road. But yeah, just wanted to kind of give that as a shout out. We also had some questions about the baggage allowance, which Sarah also mentioned. So every passenger is allowed one checked bag and one carry-on bag. As you saw, if you need more luggage, that's also totally fine. Just make sure that you include it in the booking. Let me see some other questions that we got here. We've also had some nice comments in the chat about people using Daytrip or having friends
Mm.
use Daytrip who arrived refreshed, and then the person who took the train arrived tired and annoyed. So I think that's a really nice endorsement for Daytrip as well. And then, okay, let's see some other questions. So, Sarah, one person is wondering if those
Mhm.
same customer service numbers that you showed are able to be passed along to the clients, if it's just for advisors, if it's for clients as well. Can you touch on that maybe?
Yeah, it's for our clients as well. So everyone can use these travel lines. So if your clients are traveling and it's easier for them to use a UK line, if they have an international plan going on, they can use a UK line or, US for if they're US phone users.
Yes, thank you. And then Amy is wondering about communication from Daytrip when it comes to trips that are booked by the travel agent. I think this is important to touch on. I know you kind of mentioned it briefly in the booking flow, but if you want to maybe touch on that again, just so that our advisors know, like, we're not going to go crazy.
Yeah, so for example, if you have a reserved booking, all of the information about a reserved booking will be going to you, not your client. So it doesn't matter that you added their information. You'll be getting you'll be getting the reminders about booking it and everything. But the clients will only receive really relevant information close to the trip. So nothing too much.
Yes. Then Stephen is wondering about how long you have to confirm the trip. Also, he's asking how long does the client have till confirm? So basically, like you will have up until 48 hours before the trip to confirm everything with your client. It'll be saved right there in your travel agent portal, ready for you to confirm the details with them and then book it. However, it's always best to reserve and then confirm as soon as you can, because then that just means that you don't have to worry about it and then you'll just know that it's all taken care of. But you do have until 48 hours before trip departure to confirm. I want to touch on one question just because I was logged into my travel agent profile and my specific commercial condition that I have is a 10% discount. And Catherine was asking if travel agents have a discount for using the service themselves. I personally, with my account, have a 10% discount. Your commercial condition is always going to depend on how you're using our service, so it may look different. But if you are working on commission with us, then yeah, you'll just receive the commission that you have already with your clients. And so it's going to be the same commercial condition for you. It just depends on what you have. That's why mine had the 10% discount. There is another really good question I want to touch on. I know we're kind of running low on time, so I think this might be the last one, unless maybe Sarah, you want to do a couple more. But this question is, can advisors increase the commission or add a service charge? I'm going to take this question if that's okay with you, Sarah, because this is something actually
Yeah.
we've been hearing a lot. We were recently at ASDA in Amsterdam at the River Cruise Expo, and we heard this from a lot of advisors that this is a service that you guys would like to be able to add the administrative fee slash service charge. This is not something that is currently available on our platform, but we are hoping to be able to launch something like this down the road. So definitely stay tuned. And if this is something you're interested in, please just keep telling us. This is the best way. These webinars, these chats are the best way to kind of have us like interface with you guys and know what you're interested in. So hopefully down the road we'll have that, just not quite yet. There's a lot of questions coming in, actually. I'm not sure that we're
I
going to
love this.
go through everything, but we do
Okay, so
love
we still have
active
like 15
chat.
minutes left. So
Oh, okay, amazing.
yeah.
I just wasn't sure. Okay, cool. So Yes, we actually, one of the questions is, could you please reshare the itinerary that you had from Sienna? Sarah is going to resend everything after the webinar. You will have the link to the presentation as well as the recording, so you will have everything at your fingertips. Okay. There are some other questions. How far in advance can you book? As far as you need, as far as I know, like you can book. I was booking a trip in 2027 the other day, so I know it's like you can book quite far out. Okay. There are many questions coming in. I'm just trying to decide what makes sense. So, yeah, someone is asking also whether we are only a B2B platform, and that is correct. We have B2B and B2C. So, just make sure you're logged into your travel agent portal when booking, because that's how you'll make sure that you get your B2B thing, your commercial conditions, your whole platform, everything. We have a very special setup for you guys that's not accessible to everybody. So, that's why it's super important to be logged into your travel agent profile. Okay, let's continue going through all these many, many questions. Okay. Let's see. Anything that you have to do with these questions? I see like Anna Marisa, you have a question or you have a comment about how something wasn't showing up on our website. That is not something that Sarah and I are able to handle. If you want to follow up with us individually, you can, email us after the call, or you can work with our customer support team to figure out the exact address. I know you said that you got an email, about the address not being found for the hotel. We can't help you with that one, but definitely get in touch with us or just email the support team directly and they can continue to help you. I think that that might be the last, actually, no, sorry, there's one more really good question here. Do you not need to specify specific locations for the transfer? Do you want to answer that, Sarah? If you want to talk about like the point-to-point technology that we have and just kind of like the pick up and drop off locations.
I'll let you go for it if you'd like.
Okay, totally. So I just felt like I was really like commandeering this whole webinar because
Go for it. You're
it's
great.
so hard. It's so hard to distance myself now. But yeah, so well, the question is whether or not we need to specify specific locations for the transfer. You do, so that we know exactly where to pick up your clients. We actually have really unique technology that we showed you on the website that allows us to pick your clients up at a hair salon, like Sarah mentioned, basically anywhere. So we do need the specific locations, and you can add them up to 24 hours before the trip, so that if you're still kind of like confirming details, you can just make sure you do that as long at most like 24 hours before the trip. But we do need the specific details. It's just as we were going through the booking flow, we had it like Rome to Sorrento because those are the cities that they're going to. But then when you go through the actual whole process at the end, you can really specify exactly where they need to be picked up. So that was the answer to that one. Um, so the most recent question we got is about pricing, whether it's going to be different if booked through a travel advisor. The end price, the thing that's different when it comes to booking with a travel advisor is that you guys are going to be able to earn your commission. You're going to be able to have your discount. You'll have the B2B aspect of it. That's all only accessible to you guys. You also have access to all of our like inspiration that we have on the portal, and also our travel agent portal is going to be having new like onboarding materials, new trip inspiration, new education information to help you like make the most of your commercial conditions with Daytrip and make the most of our service as well. So it's definitely a different service, I would say, like a different part of the platform. So that is kind of the perk of booking through you guys and making sure that your clients book through you instead of booking themselves. Okay, so I think that is maybe all, and then I'm going to
Cool.
turn it back to you, Sarah. If questions
Sounds
keep
good.
coming in for the next couple of minutes, I'll definitely be able to answer them. And if
Yeah,
there's
sounds good.
anything that comes up afterward, feel free to reach out to us.
Absolutely. So my email will actually be at the end of the webinar. So if you guys have any questions, you can shoot it to me and we will get back to you. But like I mentioned, there are some pre-planned questions that I think there are a couple that I would still like to highlight. So here you can see, do all bookings require full payment? No. So that is our reserved booking feature now. That is different for our payment options. So no. And then last minute bookings, we do accommodate this. So with our last minute bookings, you can actually go through our website and try it yourself. But if there's some issue like that, it's not working, you can actually just reach out to our customer service team and they'll see what they can do for you. And we can make no guarantees within 36 hours, but we absolutely will try our best. And I think the last one that I will really highlight is what if I can't find a certain route or specific stop? So within our travel agent portal, we actually have an option of our custom route form. So this is right above our booking bar. So this is on the top right of our travel agent portal, and you can go in and enter specific addresses, anything you would like. So I know for a lot of people booking Italy, a lot of people have Italian roots and maybe they'd like to retrace their heritage. So maybe your clients would want to see, a specific village that their clients, or yeah, maybe they'd want to see a specific village where their grandmothers were from, great grandmothers, or a cemetery or something. You can put in the like address of the cemetery, put it into our customer app form, put in any other stops you'd like, and then our customer service team will get back to you with a quote very quickly. But for anything else that already exists on our website, it's instant pricing and instant quotes, so there's no need for waits. And then do drivers give local information or suggestions? Yes, they do. That's a pinnacle of our service. Our drivers will answer any questions and give local recommendations. So here's another plug. Like I talked about earlier, we have a Day Trip for Travel Agents Facebook group. So I'm loving the vibes of this webinar. Would love to keep these vibes going in our travel agent group on Facebook. So please register and we'll get you in there for discussions, day trip updates, and any other content that I'm sharing. And great reminders for these webinars if you enjoy it. I always post reminders about this, so go ahead and join. So that is it for today. I feel like this was a really great discussion, and I think that there was a lot of learning happening about our service. But if you guys have any other questions for anything booking related, I would say reach out to our customer support if there's any issues that pop up. But if you have any questions about our service and your commercial conditions or anything, please email me. And me and Emma will, get back to you with any answers that you guys need. So thank you so much. We can stay in the chat for a couple more minutes to see if there's anything else that needs taken care of. But thank you so much, and we'll see you next month for our next webinar. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.